It's in the air to right center field. Harris, he leaps, and he makes the catch. The throw to first. It's over. Double up to end game 2.
And all that was just heart and nuts.
We split the series. This is a resilient club. They're going to bounce back.
Game 3 at the bank. That place will be rocking.
No place like this place. Welcome from Philadelphia, the 2023 National League Division Series presented by Booking.com. It is the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies in a series that is all even at 1 game apiece. And with that, we welcome you inside Citizens Bank Park. I'm Brian Anderson alongside Jeff Francoeur. We'll hear from Matt Weiner in just a moment. Well, the Atlanta Braves snatch them back in game 2 to even up this series. It was a crushing loss for the Phillies, but they're back home now in their friendly environment where they thrive. And there may be no home field advantage like here at Citizens Bank Park. And the Phillies 8-2 through the postseason the last couple of seasons. Now, Jeff, they have a trusted starter on the mound in Aaron Nola for pivotal game 3.
For sure, I'll tell you first, if this place can't give you goosebumps coming here, this crowd is going to be electric. And they got the second of the two-headed monster on the mound, Aaron Nola. A little bit of an up and down year at times, giving up a career-high 32 homers. About a month ago, BA, he made a mechanical adjustment, align himself more with the plate, and you see that number versus the Marlins. He has been outstanding in the last 3 games, and he is ready to go.
Phillies are the reigning National League champions. The Atlanta Braves, the best record in all of baseball this year. So now this series even at 1 apiece. They had a decision to make. The Atlanta Braves for game 3 go with Bryce Elder, a 24-year-old second-year player, Jeff, who's making his postseason debut.
Well, they went with experience over age, the 20-year-old A.J. Smith-Shawver, and Elder's going to get the ball. Had a big first half for the Atlanta Braves, an all-star appearance for him. And the best thing he did the first half, the ground ball rate was down. He was getting ground ball outs, double plays. Got a little tired in the second half. The Braves gave him a little bit of rest at the end of the season. He threw an inter-squad game, and they're hoping that little rest and those 5 innings have him ready to go. But watch out. I think it's going to be a short leash because it's going to turn into a bullpen game possibly for the Braves.
Yeah, especially with Spencer Strider and Max Fried both ready to go. So there is Bryce Elder finishing touches on his warm-ups. This is the guy that found out this morning that he was starting this game here today. For more on that, we send it down to Matt Weiner.
Yeah, BA, the Braves injected a little drama into the downtime between games by waiting until 11 a.m. to announce Elder officially. He got the nod over Smith-Shawver or a bullpen opener, in large part because he's been a starter this season and because the decision makers were impressed by his 5 innings in an intra-squad game last week. Ryan Snitker said his reaction was muted. No one's worried about him handling the moment. As for him handling the Phillies, well, as Frenchie mentioned, he's been a very different pitcher since making the All-Star game in July, and his 2 starts against the Phillies illustrate his Jekyll and Hyde season. 7 scoreless innings here in June, but 4 runs allowed, including a pair of homers by Nick Castellanos in just over 3 innings in Atlanta a few weeks ago. He and his teammates will also have to handle this raucous, edgy crowd. Phil's manager Rob Thompson lauded for its volume, intensity, and endurance. Atlanta reliever A.J. Minter says this is the loudest place he's ever played. They are chomping at the bit here in Philly for Game 3, and it's next.
On TBS is brought to you by Geico Insurance Made Easy. The series shifts to Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, PA, South Philadelphia to be exact. Brian Snitker and the Atlanta Braves in this same position last year in the division series after winning game 2. Ronald Acuna Jr., Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley at the top. It's Olson, Ozuna, and d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud gets his 2nd consecutive start with Rosario, Arcia, and Michael Harris II, who made that amazing catch that started the double play to end game 2. And Jeff, it's Aaron Nola on the mound. He's coming off a gem in the wild card series game 2. It was an up and down season for him, though.
Yeah, it was, and gave up kind of high home run numbers this year, career high 32. But we'll get into it. He made a mechanical adjustment, and he has been so good his last 3 starts. And of course, his experience in this ballpark, it's exactly, if you're a Philly, what you want.
The ballpark will be a factor. It is a great home field advantage for the Phillies. Ronald Acuna has thrived in this environment, and he's hearing it now. And always ready to pull on the first pitch. We're ready to go. Game 3, National League Division Series. And Acuna takes a ball, and we're off and running here. Best of 5, first to 3 advance to the National League Championship Series. Acuna is still hitless in this series thus far, 0 for 5. Nola missing on the outer half. That's Mark Carlson calling the balls and strikes. Have the crew chief set up to work the plate in game 3. Same 6-man umpiring crew that we've had. And they have their best behind the plate here today.
Yeah, right off the bat, you see gets behind 2-0, but Nola's able to work that knuckle curve in. Been really his whole career, his pitch he's always been able to go back to when struggling.
Acuna on the 2-1, little bouncer. Harper keeps it in front, and that's how the day begins.
Well, and catching Nola, of course, the Gold Glover JT Realmuto with the big home run in game 2. Alec Bohm at third, Trey Turner at short, Bryson Stott at second, and of course Bryce Harper over at first. And in the outfield, again, Brandon Marsh in left field, Johan Rojas, the rookie in center fielder, and Castellanos in right field.
Ozzie Albies with 1 away. And Nola deals. That one is upstairs for a ball. Phillies shut out Atlanta 3-0 in game 1. That was this past Saturday, and then 2 days ago, Monday in game 2, after the Phillies led 4-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning, the Braves with a comeback win. Scored 5 unanswered. They were no hit through 5 by Zach Wheeler. And Brian Snitker saw his team come from the depths to win that game. Wheeler was excellent in his start. And now this series all even up. Albies pulls one foul. And it's 1-2. Another changeup from Nola. He's breaking out a couple of those against the lefty.
Especially when he gets that 2-seamer running off the plate. He tries to mix in that changeup, and you can already tell the crowd playing a factor here in the first.
Another tapper foul. It count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. In the history of this ballpark, the Phillies with a record of 24-11 at Citizens Bank Park in the postseason. That is an all-time best winning percentage in baseball. It's gone to a new level since the last time the Phillies were in the playoffs a decade ago. And a strikeout to Albies. First K of the game for Aaron Nola. 2 up, 2 down in this first inning.
And you can see, if you remember in game 2, Zach Wheeler beat Albies and a lot of these guys with those high fastballs. Nola doesn't have the velocity that Wheeler does, BA, but the thing he can do with that knuckle curve is that fastball can play up because of that pitch.
Here's Austin Riley with 2 away. Riley with the key home run in game 2. Go ahead home run for Riley in that 8th inning. 2 hits in the series thus far. He's 2 for 8. Has good numbers against Aaron Nola in his career. Nola fires the 0-1 in the air. Shallow center field. Long run. That's going to fall. A base hit. Riley with a little flare to center. Comes up with his third hit of the series. He's hit in each of the first 3 games. And the Braves have a base runner with 2 outs.
Yeah, hit it right in the triangle out there. That was a really good pitch by Nola. Ran it in on Riley's hands, but he was able to dump it out there for the first hit of the game.
And that will give Matt Olson a swing in this first inning. The Major League's leading home run hitter and RBI man this season. And a first pitch spinner from Nola. .993 OPS in the regular season. The 54 homers and 139 RBIs. Both broke Braves franchise records. Right off the end of the bat. Got a long throw here. And boom, no chance. So that'll be an infield hit for Matt Olson. A modified shift on. The shift rules in place this year, of course, but the Phillies still want to get that pull advantage, and that time it cost them.
Well, any of these big-time power hitters from this side, we saw Harper in game 1. BA hit one off the end of the bat like that. They're going to play to their strengths, and if that happens, you know, they feel they can live with it.
Early opportunity for the Braves with Ozuna stepping in. First and second, 2 outs. Ozuna swing and a miss. There's that curveball again from Nola. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Aaron Nola, former #1 pick. 30 years of age now. Played his college ball at LSU. From Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He'll be a free agent at season's end. And his second postseason start this year. Terrific in the wild card game as he deals a strike. And it's a ball and 2 strikes on Marcell Ozuna. Strike 3. Inning over. Braves strand a pair. Braves failed to score in the first. Now the Phillies are coming up. Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper will start it. Alec Bohm, Bryson Stott, JT Realmuto in the middle with Castellanos, Marsh, and Rojas rounding out the starting 9. A familiar starting 9 for the Phils. Bryce Elder making his postseason debut. And it's here at Citizens Bank Park. His numbers on the year. Great first half, Jeff. Struggled in the second half. And his first offering to Schwarber is in there for a strike.
Well, if you look at those numbers right there, you figure, no, this is exactly why he's pitching game 3. But there was a lot that went behind it. Had struggled the last 6 weeks for the season, but they're going with the All-Star.
Well, that kind of walked you through the decision-making process for Bryce Elder. A.J. Smith-Shawver was the other option. He's 20. Would have been his postseason debut as well. But he had only 5 major league starts, so Smith-Shawver is available in the bullpen while Elder gets the start, and they're hoping the rest will do him some good.
Well, I can tell you this. For him, in the first 3 pitches you've seen, he's down in the zone, bottom part of the zone. And in the first half, he was the 8th best ground ball percentage in baseball. Second half went down to 44, which is not overpowering, so he needs that sink.
1-2, Schwarber right off the end of the bat. Kyle Schwarber, instant threat at the plate. Big power, had a great year, set a career high for him in homers. Was the home run champ last year in the NL, and he did one better in 2023. 47 homers on the season. Schwarber has had a hit in each of the first 2 games. First pitch he saw in game 1, he doubled into the right center field gap. Was 1 for 4 with a walk in game 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Elder deals. Schwarber, flick of the wrist, and a foul ball out of play. Jeff, you played here in Philadelphia. You wore that uniform. You loved hitting here. It's an interesting outfield. There are a lot of dynamics with this ballpark, but most importantly, this is a hitter's paradise.
Oh, it is. Look, you got, right field. You can leave the ballpark at any time here. You don't have to kill it.
2-2. Schwarber takes the count full.
And, when I was in right field here playing for Philly, majority of the time played left field, kind of shaded the gaps because they're not big gaps out there, so you can try to cut some of those balls off out there and help your center fielder.
8th pitch. Schwarber, big bouncer. Olsen waits on it, has time, and the Gold Glover will take it to the bag, and that's how it starts for Bryce Elder. Set us up with Atlanta defensively, Jeff.
Well, catching Elder is going to be Travis d'Arnaud. Again, that big home run in Game 2 gets the start behind the plate. Austin Riley at third, Orlando Arcia at short, Ozzie Albies at second, and of course the Gold Glover Matt Olson at first, and in the outfield Eddie Rosario on left, Michael Harris in center, and Ronald Acuna Jr. in right field.
Here is Trey Turner. Turner had 4 hits in the 2 wild card games here. Was 4 for 7. He's had hits in each of the first 2 games of this series as well, including a double in Game 2. Was 1 for 5 in Game 2 on Monday night.
Well, BA, the last 2 starts of the season really for Elder, what killed him? 9 walks in those 2 starts, and that was one thing. Started getting traffic, and when you do that too many times against good hitters, they're going to make you pay.
A control pitcher, he walked 14 in his last 25 innings. And I'm sure part of that is the league adjusting to him, the dramatic turnaround from one half to the other. Elder was an all-star. This is his first full season in the major leagues, and he made the all-star team with that brilliant first half. League makes an adjustment. He tried to counter, and his command started to suffer. Got himself in some bad counts, and the numbers prove that out. That is a swing. First base umpire David Rackley raises the thumb on Turner, and it's a strikeout for Bryce Elder for the second out of the inning.
Let's take a look at this. It didn't look like it from up here. I tell you what, that's about the 3rd or 4th time this series I feel like, that is very close, but they're calling that right now on these hitters, BA, that check swing.
2 up, 2 down. Here is Bryce Harper.
Well, that's the thing is, I think as Bryce Elder was going through the season, he hit an innings high. You're starting to get a little bit tired, and that's the hard thing, right? You're facing guys like Bryce Harper, and you start pitching away from contact, right? And when you pitch away from contact like that, all those walks start to pile up. So what did the Braves do? They gave him the last start of the season off, hoping that his arm could kind of, get some of that fatigue out, get that sharpness back on that sinker. And so they threw him in the inter-squad game, five innings or so, and then he gets the start today. And I think we talked about it. When he's down in the zone, as you've seen here, that's where he gets strikes. When he gets behind the count, he has to elevate, and that's where hitters really have gone to work off Bryce Elder.
He's behind in the count on Bryce Harper. The 2-1 is slash foul and out of play. It'll be 2-2 now. Interesting how technology comes into play these days. And for Bryce Elder, he pitched in those inter-squad games with the full arsenal of technology at the hands of the Braves, and they did notice it measured out. His sinker was sinking more movement, back to what it was in the first half. 2-2, a swing and a miss, and Elder strikes out Harper. Back-to-back Ks, went with a high fastball that time. 3 up, 3 down, 2 Ks for the 24-year-old Elder. Triple header of baseball tonight in the postseason. Astros Twins, our friends at FS1 will have that for you. That starts in about 90 minutes. And then Dodgers Diamondbacks right here on TBS, streaming on Max, also simulcast on True TV. Bob Costas, Ron Darling, Lauren Shahadi will have Game 3. It's an elimination game in those other 2. This series all even at 1 apiece. We're off and running. We go to the 2nd inning. Aaron Nola back to work. And the first pitch to Travis d'Arnaud is in there for a strike. Braves with a couple of singles with 2 outs in the first inning, could not score. Nola with a strikeout of Marcell Ozuna. 2 control pitchers who hover in the low 90s and each with strikeouts, with 2 strikeouts apiece in the first inning.
It's great talking to Travis d'Arnaud today. He said he went back and watched every pitch, and he said Wheeler made 1 mistake literally all game, and I just happened to be the right guy in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, he hit a big 2-run home run that got Atlanta within a run. And d'Arnaud beats one into the ground. Bohm slings one to first. Nice pick over there by Harper, and there is out number 1. If both of these pitchers are right, you'll probably see fewer strikeouts moving forward and more ground balls, but I'm certain both were amped up in that first inning, and it did produce some strikeouts.
Well, look, Nola's had 5 straight years of 200-plus strikeouts. You take away, obviously, the COVID year in 2020 because it was short, but he's looking to get contact. Now, he's going to get strikeouts because he's got great stuff, but that's how he's able to go deep into games.
Eddie Rosario, he takes a strike. Rosario back in the starting lineup. Back-to-back starts for him. Was 0 for 2 in game 2. Came off the bench in game 1. Did have a hit in a pinch hit role. He and Kevin Pillar share the duties in left field. And when you're talking about the Phillies pitching staff, especially their bullpen, that means Pillar could be a factor with all those lefties in the Philadelphia pen.
I'll tell you what, Nola's got his good fastball right now tonight, too. He is painting those corners. He painted Marcell Ozuna last inning after those 2 curveballs at 95, and then a good one located there on Eddie Rosario way.
0-2. And a ball and 2 strikes on Rosario. See what he has in mind. The 1-2 pitch. Rosario late on it, fouls it away. Our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud as we look at the arsenal of Aaron Nola.
And you see that big knuckle curve. He's had that his whole career. And then, like I said, he's going to throw that 4-seamer and sinker and then sprinkle in the changeup. And every once in a while, just to keep you honest, he'll throw that cutter in there.
He deals another 2-strike pitch, misses low with the changeup. 7 shutout innings last Wednesday. 88 pitches is all it took him to get through 7 against the Marlins in game 2 of the wild card series, a clinching game for the Phillies. Swept that series in 2. They went to Atlanta, won game 1. They're now back in their home surroundings for the first time in this division series.
You see that in game 2. He could have gone one more inning. Only 88 pitches for 7 innings.
Pitch number 7 here. Rosario rung up. Nola snaps off a wicked curveball. His 3rd K. 2 outs in the second now.
I'm telling you what, this is so hard when you're sitting there as a hitter, and look at the depth of this pitch. It's that knuckle curve for Aaron Nola. As I said, that's been his pitch for 7-8 years in the big leagues, and gets Rosario looking on 3-2. 3rd strikeout of the night.
Orlando Arcia now with 2 away. Braves number 8 hitter. And Arcia on the first pitch, he pulls one foul. Arcia gets out ahead of a fastball up and in. He was waiting for it. He was going to take a rip on the first pitch no matter what.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that was that.
Nola could have thrown that to the screen and he might be 0-1. 6 out of 8. He has gotten ahead in the count with first pitch strikes. And a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
And there's the difference. The first pitch, 94, up in the zone. And now you get that sinker at 91. The only thing you can do with that pitch he just threw you is foul it off or hit it hard into the ground.
2 outs. And the 0-2. He got him.
0-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. 3 up, 3 down for Bryce Elder in the first. And let's take a look at his pitch arsenal, what these hitters are facing today. And that's it. The sinker slider, his big combo. He's going to sprinkle on the changeup. But you see where that location is. That's exactly where he wants to live. And then you see the four-seamer. That's where he got Harper last inning. But he wants to go there for swing and miss, not to stay there.
2 Ks in the first inning for Elder, facing Alec Bohm to start this second inning. Bohm up there hacking. Swings away at a first pitch slider. Alec Bohm drove in a run in game 2 after an 0 for 4 in game 1. Swung away at the first pitch, put the Phillies on the board and quieted down that Truist Park crowd. And that's something the Phillies did very well until late in game 2. They took the loud Braves fans in their home park out of it. And now the Braves trying to do the same here, which is almost impossible with the fans in Philadelphia. And it's not just what you see during the game. When we send you away to commercial, this place is like Club South Philly here. It is rocking.
They don't sit down.
As what a scene it was last year and their return to the postseason and all the way into the World Series.
2 good sliders he's got for swing and miss. Down, bottom part of the zone, away from Bohm.
Elder looks calm. He has great poise. 3-year pitcher at the University of Texas. He's a native Texan. And a swing and a miss, and he buries another one. Excellent sliders to get the strikeout. And 3 consecutive Ks. First out of the second inning.
Well, all he did was go back to the exact spot and got that one a little bit lower and got him to expand.
Bryson Stott. He's got the hot walk-up song. And that was a viral moment in game 2 of the wild card series, playing that song and then the grand slam. That's a look what the batter's eye is right now, Jeff. Is that a factor?
I think so. You've seen 7 strikeouts. Not to take away anything from the pitchers at all, because they're both on their game right now, but I just think everything's in the shade, and for those hitters, that's what you're looking into right there. It's already gone up a little bit from about 5 minutes ago, so I'd imagine in another 5-10 minutes that's going to be all in the shade for these hitters.
Our earlier start than what we have been. Stott in the air, left center field. Rosario closes, and he's got it. Out number 2. First out in the air against Elder. And 2 gone for JT Realmuto.
I think right now, if you're Brian Snitker and Rick Kranitz over there in that Braves dugout, you could not ask for a better start. Look, I'm sure they had a game plan, BA, if something went crazy in the first, who was getting up, and so far Elder's done a good job of keeping that ball down.
Elder pitched a gem here against the Phillies in this ballpark. Struggled in Atlanta in his second start as Realmuto lets it fly on the first one. Man, nasty sinker there from Elder. He's got real good bite early. Realmuto right over the top of that pitch. Realmuto's had a nice postseason already. Another one dives down and in. It's 89 miles an hour, but that is the sinking fastball from Elder. He's not a hard thrower.
And because it's not overpowering, you see it longer, and so you think it's going to be there, and then that one's just disappearing.
Elder deals at 0-2, and he goes right back in there. Pumped up to 90 on that one. Gave him a little extra. He was the Braves opening day starter, except he was the opening day starter in AAA in Gwinnett. Then he replaced Max Fried on the Major League roster and had an all-star season. A strikeout of JT Realmuto. Got him with a changeup. He's got 4 Ks through the first 2 innings and has retired 6 in a row. Off and running here in game 3 of this best of 5 NLDS series. TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive, and the pitchers off to great starts, both Nola and Elder, each with 4 Ks through their first 2 innings of play. And Nola back to work. 9-1-2 coming up for Atlanta. Michael Harris, the second, will lead off, and first ball swinging, he fouls it away. So Nola's strikeouts have come on 2 fastballs and 2 curves. Elder with a couple of sliders. That fastball to Harper, and he just got Real Muto on a changeup. The kind of starts both managers must be very pleased about, as Nola pounds the strike zone. He's ahead of Harris 0-2.
Say combined 14 hitters have come up. Yes, the Braves have 2 hits, but no hard contact from anybody yet tonight in this ball game.
Harris making that great catch up against the wall in the 9th inning in game 2. One of the great defensive plays, and really one of the most unusual outcomes. As far as we know, there's never been a double play to end a postseason game that involved an outfielder. And it was an 8-5-3 double play to end game 2, and the Braves even up this series. But a brilliant catch by Harris that surprised everyone, especially Bryce Harper, who was already in 5th gear, thinking about scoring if the ball had gotten in the gap off the bat of Castellanos.
That was a pretty good pitch here by Nola.
2-2. Roll over ground ball. Harper got a race to the bag, and Nola's there for him. And the first time through the batting order against Nola, the Braves go 2 for 9, 2 singles and 4 Ks. And now we go back to the top in Acuna.
Well, Nola's faced this lineup so many times throughout the years, and really the 3 guys, Acuna, Riley, and Ozuna, are the 3 Braves that have the best numbers and most success off Aaron Nola. And I think through 2 games and into this one, best thing the Phillies have been able to do is keep Ronald Acuna off the bags. I mean, you talk about the power, but not letting him get on there to steal and be the running game for the Braves.
Second time around, Acuna takes the first one off the plate. Aaron Nola making his 34th career start against Atlanta, 15 wins in his career against the Braves. And he is even in the count on Acuna, 1-1. He's got some serious bite to his sinker as well.
Well, and that's what he can do. He can throw that 4-seamer, 2-seamer backdoor, and then when he throws it in like that, hitters want to go, and it's just tough to square that up.
Nola, a career ERA against Atlanta at 3.40, has about a strikeout per inning pitched throughout his career. Was great early in the postseason a year ago. Struggled a little bit in the latter rounds, but got him off to a terrific start as Acuna shoots one into right field, a base hit. Acuna thinking 2, he's on his way. Castellanos' throw comes in. It is late, and it's a double for Ronald Acuna. His first hit of the postseason this year. A hustle double puts a Brave at second base with 1 away.
See, right here was a 2-seamer that he tried to go away, and actually Nola made a great pitch. Acuna did a great job of just shooting it the other way, not trying to pull him, and Castellanos got to that quick, but with Acuna's speed, easy double. And now for the Atlanta Braves, you got the right guy on the base pass.
And with 1 out, we'll watch to see if he is a base stealing threat. 73 bags in the regular season, a 40-70 player. Acuna led baseball in steals. Nola deals Albies, and a line shot, base hit to right. Acuna going to be sent home. Castellanos' throw comes in, a couple of hops. Acuna scores. Ozzie Albies, an RBI single, and Atlanta strikes first in game 3.
Well, that time first pitch curveball, and Ozzie Albies smoked it to right field. He's the one that got the hit off Wheeler the other day. Granted, it was an error to drive in Ronald Acuna, but you know, so many big hitters in this Braves lineup, BA, that
Ozzy's kind of the guy that gets lost in the shuffle sometimes. 30-plus home runs this year.
Always had the first hit of the game. Remember, Zach Wheeler had spun 5 no-hit innings until Albies finally delivered a base hit in game 2. And Acuna, the double, comes around to score. Austin Riley steps in with one away. Phillies set up for a double play ball here. And Riley beats one into the ground foul. So, see Acuna after his first hit. His 3rd run scored of this division series. Riley a single to center field in the first. A little flare. Albies at first, and Riley a little half swing. Big curveball, and it's 0-2.
And Brian Snitker telling us before the game that he was hoping this Braves offense could use some of that momentum from that 7th and 8th inning in game 2 to try to open it up after being held down for 15 innings.
Yeah, shut him out. First game and a half. Close one. Riley doesn't bite. Regular season stats are what they are. Anything to first time around versus second time around for Nola?
Second time that average jumped from 202 to 273. And the OPS 110 points from 643 BA to 753.
Second time around already. 2 for 2 the Braves. As Riley shoots one into right center, right there is Rojas. Got a good jump. He can flag it in center field. Albies back to first. That's the second out.
So talking to Rob Thompson, as you see, good jump here by Rojas. Try to split that gap and had it. And JT Realmuto told me a little bit before the game by the K Show, Aaron Nola, 32 home runs, the most he's given up in his career this year. Said the pitch clock for him,
yes,
from a mechanic standpoint, he kept looking at the pitch clock to the right, over kind of where Marcell Ozuna is standing on the visiting batter's box. And so for him, his shoulders kept turning a little bit. And they said for him, it was locking him up and not allowing him. So they started telling him to look at the pitch clock over by the Phillies dugout, and it opened that back up, and they said it got him on plane the last 3-4 starts, and that's where he really got rolling again this season.
Yeah, that's a great call, and those last 3 starts were brilliant for Nola. And you don't think about just where you put your eyes, because one thing Nola does, maybe more than most, he uses the pitch clock to his advantage. He'll stand on the mound, he'll get a little freeze in for the hitter if the hitter's ready early. So he's using all of those weapons at his disposal. He made a mechanical fix, and it has changed how he has pitched.
Well, he's very methodical out there. You see it every pitch. But I think for him, it opens up both sides of the plate. And he doesn't have the Zach Wheeler 98 where you can just blow it by people. He's got to work sides. So they said they were able to kind of get him back on track.
2 out, runner at first, Albies, and Olson draws the walk. So Olson is aboard for the second time after an infield hit in the first. A run is in for Atlanta, now 2 on with 2 away. Meeting at the mound, Realmuto will be joined by the pitching coach Caleb Cotham now as the infield comes in as well. So a chance at maybe a breather here using the first mound visit in this 3rd inning. And the Braves with 2 hits and a walk and a firm line drive out in the 4 batters since the lineup turned over.
It's been a weird series in the fact that, you know, you look at game 1, you had Strider versus Suarez. Everything in the world tells you Strider, right? And he pitched an outstanding game. Phillies won. You go to game 2, you look at Wheeler's box score, and you would say, and you see Max Fried, and you would think, oh, sure, the Phillies. Well, the Braves were able to kind of eke that one out. Now, here you are again today, Nola. Braves not sure what they were doing, and I think that's why Caleb Coffin's going out there. It's a big moment here to try to keep this ball game at 1-0 with Marcell Ozuna up at the plate.
Inning started, or with 1 out anyway. Acuna, the rally started with a double. Albies and Riley both with firm line drives. Now Ozuna, strikeout victim looking in the first inning. 2 on, 2 out. Ozuna pulls one foul.
And something for the first time this series, and both managers are going to have to keep an eye on, is they play again tomorrow. So as you start going into that bullpen and think about it too, so far every day, every game, there's been a day off.
Yeah, started Saturday. The Phillies shutting out Atlanta. Took a day off Sunday. Game 2 was Monday, another travel day. Phillies did have back-to-back games in the wild card series last Tuesday, Wednesday. The 0-1. Ozuna takes a strike. Little change up there by Nola. And it's 0-2. Ozuna thought it was down. 2 on, 2 outs. The 0-2. Nola couldn't get him to bite on that breaking ball.
The last time Nola dialed up 2 of those, BA got him to swing at 1. He took that one, and then he dialed up 95, painted away to catch Ozuna looking.
See what he does here. Inside move. Remember, he caught John Birdie that inside move in the wild card game. It's an effective tool. As I mentioned, Nola's one of those guys that just has a great presence on the mound. All that experience. Trying to get out of this third inning. Ozuna had his knees buckled, but did not bite. Darno due next. Braves stranded 2 in the first inning. Those 2 runners reached with 2 out hits. They've got 2 on here with a run in and 2 outs in the third. Nola deals and a swing and a miss. He got him. A big out early for Aaron Nola. Braves get a run, but they strand 2. 1-0 Atlanta as we go to the home third.
It's amazing how slow the days like this can go.
Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow Play Ball on social media. That's a Jeff Francoeur shot right there. Coach Francoeur.
The Diamond Dog.
Nice. Elder back to work here as we start the bottom of the third inning. Bryce Elder has retired 6 in a row, 4 Ks. Nick Castellanos, Brandon Marsh, and Johan Rojas will lead things for the Phillies. And Castellanos way back into left field, and we are tied just like that.
Yeah, this is one of those sinkers up right here that Castellanos gets and turns on it, running in on him a little bit. First 2 innings, those pitches were down in the zone. That one up, and if you actually go back to September 20th and his start, Castellanos hit 2 home runs against Bryce Elder in that start in Atlanta.
His 3rd career homer against Elder. Castellanos hit 29 in the regular season, drove at 106. It was off his bat that ended game 2 on that Harris catch and double play. This time he hits them where they cannot catch him, up in the bleachers in left field.
Again, when you don't have 95, BA, 96. If you're going in, you got to get it in there, and that one was not. Look at those numbers.
3 hits, all 3 homers, as Marsha cut and a miss. Elder comes back, gets ahead of Brandon Marsh, 1-2. Marsh started game 1, was 0 for 3, did have a walk and a steal. Pinch hit appearance in game 2 was 0 for 1. He struck out. Part of that left field platoon with Christian Pache. Both teams have platoons in left. And both platoons know there's a great chance that they will compete in every game. Marsh rips one to right, a base hit. Phillies are 2 for 2 to start this third inning.
Well, you always worry about the top part of the lineup for the Phillies, and this inning here it is, the 7 and 8 hole hitters getting it started. As Marsh turns on this pitch.
Fanatic enjoying it. A rally has been started by the bottom of the order. Marsh with great speed. Phillies have been running wild in this series. Rojas shows bunt, pops it foul.
You know, if you're going to manage games here in this park, BA, I've played here so many times as a visiting player and obviously as a Philly too. The ebbs and flows that you're going to go through in this park. You can score 2, 3, 4 runs quick. As you can see, the Braves bullpen starting to stir.
That's Kirby Yates, A.J. Smith-Shawver starting to get loose. A check on Marsh. Elder, being the ground ball pitcher that he is, does control the running game better than most sinker ballers do. They need those double plays to get out of innings like this. See if Rojas is up there to bunt again. The rookie center fielder, and he swings and he pops it up in the infield. Olsen drifting into foul grounds. He'll make the play, and there is out number 1. Marsh still at first.
I thought you might see him bunt again right there with the top of the order coming up. Look, I think Rojas, we can both agree, defensive-wise, is going to be one of the best center fielders in the game. Offensively, still in this series, just tough sometimes. You got great pitching out there.
And now 0 for 8 in this division series. Here comes Schwarber now. The lineup turns over. Phillies have a run in on a Castellanos homer. Marsh at first. Bouncing ball, big chopper. Albies has only one play, and he'll go to first. And there is out number 2. Both balls in play off the bat of Schwarber have looked just like that. And 2 men are gone with Marsh now at second base for Trey Turner.
Now for Bryce Elder, that's how he wants to get his outs right there. Have these big hitters for the Phillies pound that ball into the ground.
Turner, the former batting champion in the National League 2 years ago. Go ahead and run at second. Turner takes a strike right on the edge. Bottom corner with that slider. Turner had 2 doubles of his 4 hits here in this ballpark in the wild card series. Marsh with good speed should score on anything that hits the outfield grass. Elder misses. Gets an acknowledgement from his catcher d'Arnaud. Like the location of that one.
I think d'Arnaud's telling him if you're going to miss way in like that, not in over the plate.
A ball and a strike. Turner takes a ball low. 2-1 now. Those count flippers are so big, that 1-1 count, to either go 1-2 or 2-1. Now Turner has the advantage. Elder struck him out in the first inning, retired his first 6. A strike on the outside corner. Well placed fastball by Elder. Turner's upset. Mark Carlson giving a little on the outer half.
Second inning might have been a little bit off the plate, but when you're a 2-seamer like that, and it comes back like that, it usually, if the catcher does a good job framing, you can get that pitch.
Inside move just in case Marsh was thinking about running. Braves stranded 2 in the top of this inning after the run scored. Now Elder with a man on, and Turner fouls it back. High fastball. 2-2 of the count now. Working all the quadrants against Trey Turner.
Let's see, first pitch slider, and since then has throwing 4 straight sinkers. That one he tried to kind of elevate on him. See if he comes back with that slider now after 4 sinkers in a row.
Oh. 3-2 now. Bryce Harper due next. That's the guy Turner's trying to get to the plate in this 3rd inning. Big pitch coming here for Elder. 3-2. Turner on the ground. Backhanded. There'll be no play on Turner. It'll be an infield hit. It was a great play by Arcia. He saves a run. But Turner legs one out. And the Phillies, with their 3rd hit of the inning, will in fact get Harper to the plate.
They want the sinker in, and the only chance there, and even if Austin Riley comes up with that ball by diving with Turner's speed, but set a pretty darn good play by Orlando Arcia, because that right there saves a run. He got the ground ball he wanted. Just with Turner's speed, it's got to be right at somebody.
That gets by Arcia. Marsh is going to score easily. Phillies with a run in. 1st and 3rd now with 2 outs, and Harper coming up. Harper on the first pitch fouls it away. Harper homered in game 1. 2 for 2. Had a couple of walks and a 2-run homer. He's got great numbers against Atlanta in his career. Had a great division series against Atlanta last year. Oh. One ball, 1 strike. Phillies threatened with 2 outs. Nice play back there by Darno. Breaking ball in the dirt. Not only keeps Marsh from scoring, but Turner stays put at first base. 2 balls and a strike to count.
Good job by Darno, turning the glove the right way. Saved a run.
So far, Turner has not looked like he wants to run. Stays put, and there's a high fly ball, deep right field. Harper watches it fly.
Well, he's done it so many times in his career in the postseason and against this Atlanta Braves squad. And it's a pitch, another pitch up in the zone, a 2-1 slider. 110 off the bat, 408 feet in the second deck.
Alec Bohm, first ball swinging, line drive to left. Bohm thinking about 2. He'll stop it first. The Phillies, 5 hits in this 3rd inning. And Rick Kranitz on his way out. Bryce Harper. An electrifying moment here, a 3-run blast to put the Phillies in front. He has done it so many times. Big game player Bryce Harper delivers in the big moments.
And if you go back to first and second inning, everything that Elder threw was down. or above the strike zone. Now all of a sudden you're seeing that ball, bone single there, up in the zone. And again, I talked about it, this part, you can see a 3-4 run swing so quick, and that's the thing, the Braves bullpen is not loose yet.
4-run inning. Tonkin getting ready in a hurry. 3 of the 4 runs coming on one swing of Harper's bat with 2 outs as Stott takes the ball. Bryce Harper with his 13th postseason homer. He's got 9 in the division series. That matches the division series record. Stott takes a ball.
And see, this is what happens now, BA, for pitchers. When you start to feel uncomfortable like this, what do? You start trying to nitpick corners like that. And you can see the Phillies not chasing it right now. And I would imagine one way or another, this is Elder's last hitter right here.
Swing and a miss. Elder took something off there, went with a changeup. Castellanos started it with a homer, and then Harper with the 3-run blast. So he ties Chipper Jones, the great Atlanta Brave, for most career homers in division series history. Some Phillies on there as well. Jason Worth. That one's outside. Ball 3. That one home run for Stott was a grand slam in Game 2 of the wild card series. 7 RBIs in the postseason for Stott. 3-1. Ball 4. Stott is aboard. The line keeps moving, and now the Phillies bring their 9th batter of the inning to the plate. And Brian Snitker will bring a hook with him. Elder retires the first 6 with 4 strikeouts, but the Phillies erupt here in inning number 3. And Elder will exit with 2 on and 2 out, and the Phillies get into the Atlanta bullpen early. Michael Tonkin stepping into the fire at Citizens Bank Park. Castellanos got it started. The lead man in the 3rd tied it. And then Harper destroys one. A bomb into right field. A 3-run blast. Phillies up 4-1. Pitching change at Citizens Bank. Bryce Elder, it all collapsed in the 3rd inning. 2 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, and all of that damage coming in the 3rd. A walk and 4 strikeouts. Bryce Harper with a 3-run home run with 2 outs. And Elder is out, and Michael Tonkin is in with 2 on and 2 away here, Jeff.
Well, for Elder, we said the key was going to be to keep it down. If you go back to those first 2 innings, a lot of the pitches were down. And if he did go up, it was for show. It was for a purpose. This 3rd inning, after Castellanos, he kind of missed it. Now you see Tonkin coming in. 7-3 with a 4.28. And really in a huge part of this game here, to try to keep this a 3-run game with JT Realmuto at the plate.
After the home run, a single and a walk. 1st and 2nd, Realmuto takes a ball.
Tonkin's got a little bit of that crossfire with the fastball, trying to rise it up. Sinker slider type guy.
Realmuto has homered in each of the first 2 series of this postseason. He drove a home run into right center field off Max Fried in Game 2. Great power to all fields, JT Realmuto. Two on, 2 out, 2-0 the count. Realmuto, mighty swing at it, fouls it back.
Almost got up to us up here.
Got to be ready, Frenchie.
I am.
Elder still looking at two of his runners. His responsibility out there. Tonkin delivers. Real Muto in the air, left center. Rosario's on the run. Rosario can't get there. 2 runs are going to score. JT Real Muto with a double. 6-1 Phillies.
JT Real Muto with the huge 2-run homer in game 2 against Max Fried, and right here gets a 2-1 pitch. Look at that, middle running up in the zone and drives in that left center gap.
First pitch to Castellanos in there for a strike. The man who started this rally with a leadoff home run in this 3rd inning. A 6th spot for the Phillies. They have batted around in this 3rd. Eerily similar to last season. The Braves in the DS last year won game 2. Came back with Nola on the mound in game 3 here in Philadelphia. Just like in the 2022 game 3 of the DS. Phillies hunting for more. Castellanos fouls it away. Six hits in the inning and a walk. Close the book on Elder. He gives up 6 runs all earned in 2 2/3 innings.
You know, you almost feel like if you're a manager, you'd rather have your pitcher kind of maybe struggle a little bit for 2 innings, but get out of it because maybe you're more prepared to have to go to that bullpen. But the way that Elder looked for the first 2 innings,
right?
You know, as a manager, you're kind of sitting back.
Swing at him as Tonkin with a strikeout to end the inning. But what an inning! The Philadelphia 3rd in game 3. A 6th spot on the board with a couple of long balls from Castellanos and Harper. They are rocking and rolling here in Philadelphia now after their Phillies put a 6th spot on the board in the bottom of the 3rd. Bryce Harper with a long 3-run home run. It came with 2 outs. JT Real Muto a 2 RBI double with 2 outs. Castellanos got it started with a home run of his own. And now Nola back to work. Nola giving up a run in the 3rd inning, the top of the 3rd, on an Albies RBI single. Acuna had doubled. He comes around to score. But Nola was able to get out of it with 2 on. Braves are in their bullpen now, and Nola trying to put a 0 on the board as d'Arnaud chased one.
Well, and this is where if you're Rob Thompson, Nola 55 pitches, you got a 6-1 lead. You want him to start filling up that strike zone. You want him to get you into that 7th inning and save what we figure is going to be somewhat of a bullpen game tomorrow at some point for the Phillies.
Yeah, it could be Ranger Suarez again, most likely. That'll be how they work it, just like game 1. And then if it goes to a game 5, Zach Wheeler would be lined up to pitch in that game 5 of this best of 5. Probables are Strider and Suarez. The Braves would have Strider and Max Fried lined up for 4 and 5. d'Arnaud, lazy fly ball to center field. Johan Rojas is there, and out number 1. Key inning for Nola. He's been given some run support, certainly in postseasons past in the last couple of years. Phillies beat the Marlins 7-1 in Nola's 7-inning gem. 7 scoreless in that one. It was a 9-1 win for the Phillies in game 3 of the division series last year. As I mentioned, a 6-run 3rd inning in that game as well.
Yeah, that kind of overshadowed the great work Nola did in that game because of the offense. He went 6 innings in that game. Gave up 1 run, and what he did so well was exactly what I talked about, pounding the zone. He threw 22 of 26 first pitch strikes in that game 3 last year.
The 1-0 to Rosario is in there for a strike. A backdoor breaking ball, the curve. Nola's been great in his home park this year as well. Significant difference in ERA from Citizens Bank Park to the road parks. Ties up Rosario. A cut fastball from Nola, one of the rare ones.
Second, third time through the order, you'll start to see that a little bit, especially on guys that start trying to jump that fastball on him. Just something to kind of put a wrinkle in it.
One away in the fourth. Nola's got Rosario down in the count 1-2. And he got him. Struck him out with a high fastball. Strikeout number 6 for Nola. 2 gone in the fourth.
Now you come in with the cutter and then you run one out over the plate, up. You're going to catch up to that one.
Two men are gone. Nola to face Orlando Arcia. Arcia, defensive swing, just buckled him on a curveball.
Yeah, they made quick work of him last time with 3 pitches. Struck Arcia out on that pitch right there. Now he's got him 0-2.
Nola dialed in. Hunting strikeout number 7 already. Fires at 0-2 and down he goes. 7 Ks for Aaron Nola. A 3-up, 3-down fourth. The most tenured Philadelphia Philly pitcher. And he has got him cooking here in Philadelphia through the first 4 innings. Take a look at the schedule. Astros and Twins elimination game for Minnesota tonight at home. That's underway in about 30 minutes on FS1. Dodgers Diamondbacks coming up after we are done here. Triple header of postseason baseball here tonight. The Phillies with a 6-run 3rd inning. Brandon Marsh helped him get that inning going after the homer. Had a 2-strike single. Brad Hand now loosening in Atlanta's bullpen. Phillies brought 10 batters to the plate in that 3rd. Tonkin came on, gave up the 2 RBI double to JT Realmuto, then struck out Castellanos to end the 3rd inning. The 10th batter is Marcia cut it a miss. 2-2 the count on the Philly left fielder.
You can imagine Tonkin's in for the bottom 2 here, and maybe Hand come in to face Schwarber at the top of the lineup.
And Marsh hits that one sharply, slicing in the left center. That's down, a base hit. Harris over to cut it off. Marsh is in with his 2nd 2-strike hit. It's a leadoff double here in the 4th. A good time to talk to the hitting coach. A moment ago, Matt Weiner with Phillies hitting coach Kevin Long.
Well, Kevin, your hitters struggled a little bit against that location, keeping the ball down from Bryce Elder the first couple of innings. How did you solve the riddle?
Yeah, we were just having a tough time seeing the ball, and obviously they were too. And then we knew that inning was going to be a little better. We're pretty good about bouncing back and scoring runs after the opposition scores. And right there, Nick's hit was big for us. And then Bryce Harper, the best in the world, does what he does in a big stage. Big home run.
You and I talked about Bryce earlier today. Explain to folks at home what he can do that most human hitters cannot.
He's just almost inhuman at times, but you kind of expect it. The bigger the moment, the more the meaning there is to the game or the moment, he seems to come through, and he did right there.
Thanks much.
Okay, thank you.
And good stuff there with Kevin Long. Got to play at 3rd. Marsh is safe. So on the little swinging bunt by Rojas, the Braves do get the out, but Marsh, aggressive base running, makes it to 3rd base with 1 away, and that'll force a decision here for Brian Snitker. And he is on his way. The speedy Rojas cut down at first base.
Yeah, good aggressiveness by Marsh right here. When you're up 6-1, BA, you can take some of these chances. You see right there, when he gets ready to crank it, he goes knowing that if he can get to third with only one out, you give Schwarber a chance to hit a sac fly.
Well, wheels are in motion now. Snitker back to his bullpen. Marsh standing at third base with one out. And the top of the order coming up. Tonkin is out. And here comes Brad Hand. CBS presented by Booking.com. Don't forget, you can customize your feed, get personalized stats and highlights, and enjoy free live streams with the MLB app. Your home for postseason baseball. Download the MLB app today. Fire burning hot here. Phillies with a 6-run third. Leadoff double by Marsh. He's now at third base. And the former Philly from a year ago, Brad Hand, back on the mound at Citizens Bank Park, now as a member of the Atlanta Braves.
The Braves picked him up at the deadline from the Colorado Rockies. Going to throw that fastball, kind of slings it from the left. Got a little slurve action coming across too, and here to try to keep this run at third. You know, but going back to what Kevin Long was talking about with Bryce Harper, you remember he signed that big deal, came here in 19, BA, and about the first 3-4 months he struggled. Yes. There were even some boos. Of course, you're in Philly, so there's some boos, but ever since then, when he kind of hit that hot streak, this place has been a match made in heaven for each of him and this city for the last 5 years, and he's thrived off it.
Now in his 5th year as a Philly, big 3-run home run from Harper. Infield in with one away. Hand against Schwarber, and a swing and a foul right off the end of the bat.
Looking for early contact. If you're Schwarber up there, you're 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts in your career against Hand. You got a guy there. You're looking for anything early that you can put in play. Good pitch by Hand there to start him off.
Hand made 7 appearances for the Phillies in the postseason last year. Didn't allow a run against Atlanta, pitching against Atlanta in last year's DS. 3 different outings. Had a couple of scoreless games in the World Series as well. Signed with the Rockies, traded from Colorado to Atlanta. And Schwarber, a swing and a miss. Big hack on a big breaking ball from Brad Hand, and it's 1-2.
Got to believe after throwing 3 of those right there, I don't know if Schwarber's the type of guy you try to trick or you just go back to that pitch and trust that even if you bounce it, your catcher's going to block it.
Runner at third, Marsh, infield in, only 1 out. And Hand delivers, and a swing and a miss. Brad Hand comes on with a wipeout breaking ball. Gets Schwarber for the 2nd out, and the Braves can get back into regular depth defensively.
You can see what's so tough. It's a great pitch to begin with, but when you're a lefty and that starts right at you, that's starting at Schwarber's body of where he releases, and it breaks all the way across the plate. Tough pitch for any lefty to hit.
Had the matchup against Schwarber. Now the test here with Trey Turner at the plate. Turner, a chopper foul, hit off his foot. Hand elevated himself into an all-star closer with the Guardians. 34 saves in 2019. An all-star that year in the American League.
Yeah, those years he was throwing that 2-seamer at about 95, 96. Not as hard now, but still can get out.
No balls and a strike. He deals to Turner, and that one's down and in. Active catcher back there, d'Arnaud, good on his feet. These pitchers know they have a lot of confidence in d'Arnaud to block pitches like that. It's a heads-up base running move by Marsh to get to third on a little slow roller on a ground out by Rojas. Let's put a little extra pressure on Atlanta. 6-1 Phillies, bottom 4th. And Turner, a bouncing ball that is foul. Called by third base umpire Ramon de Jesus.
You're an here, as you see. Just foul. Good call.
Riley does the wise thing. That's a good lesson for everyone. Just if you're still playing ball, play through it. Go ahead and finish it off and deal with it afterwards if it's foul.
It's like a field goal kicker. When I call a timeout, I get a free play.
It's good practice. 1-2 the count. Turner fouls it away. Turner now with 7 hits this postseason in his first 5 games, 4 games plus. Infield hit for Turner in the 3rd. He came around to score on the Harper 3-run homer. Here comes Hand, the 1-2, and he's late on it, fouls it away.
Now, Turner's season turned around here early August when this crowd that you're seeing here tonight decided to give him a standing ovation. He told me it felt like 100 pounds off my back.
That was August 4th. And in the 50 games since in the regular season, hit .345 with an OPS over 1,000. Completely different player. And Turner, a swing at him as Hand with the big strikeout. He gets Schwarber and Turner with back-to-back Ks. No damage for the Phillies. They still lead 6-1. Braves coming up. The 2023 postseason on TBS is brought to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours. No place like this one, Citizens Bank Park. And this Phillies club has them loud and on their feet early in this game. A 6-run 3rd inning for the Phillies. They bat around, bring 10 to the plate. Braves just got out of a jam in the 4th, and now we go to the 5th with Atlanta coming up. Something got loose in the outfield. That is
that a Rocky glove?
It's important to get that back. It's a beer holder, cup holder, and it's important.
I need one of those up here.
It's nice. It's nice. You'd never take it off.
I could do both.
It's a professional koozie is what that is. Michael Harris the second, ready to lead off. Nola back to work. And Harris back in the number 9 spot in the batting order. Matt Weiner, second consecutive game he has been back there, and hoping for a lot of production from a guy like Michael Harris out of the number 9 spot. So effective most of the year batting 9th as he pulls one, and Harper makes the play. And let's send it down to Matt Weiner. What do you got, Matt?
Well, we haven't seen it from Michael Harris II so far in this series, but throughout the season he's been much more than your average 9 hitter. In fact, we told you all about the crazy numbers that the Braves have put up this season, historically good offensive numbers, and here's a good indication. If you extrapolate the production from just the 9-hole, that's mostly Harris, the Braves would lead all of baseball in batting average, slugging, and OPS, and rank 3rd in on-base percentage. It's an embarrassment of riches.
Wow, good stuff. Good stat right there, Matt, coming in with the Nuggets. Harris was 0 for 3 in game 2, hitting 9th for the first time in this series. Braves did have a hit from Rosario in the number 9 spot. That was a pinch hit in game 1. Harris 0 for 2 tonight. So Acuna steps up there with nobody on after Nola retires Harris. Braves have plenty of firepower. This is a ball club that was one of the all-time great offensive teams in Major League Baseball this year. And they are hoping they can plow their way back against Aaron Nola, who looks sharp. That ball is ripped to center field. Ronald Acuna got his first hit of this series in the 3rd. Now he is 2 out of 3 and hits in his last 2 at-bats. A.J. Smith-Shawver loosening in the Atlanta bullpen. He was a candidate to start this game, Jeff.
You know, you just wonder the thought process of him being 20 years old. Just, you know, they didn't want to send him out with this crowd and this place, but it's like he's going to get a chance maybe here after Harper hits, probably with Hand to get the ball.
Ozzie Albies rolls one foul.
You talk about the firepower of both these teams. Well, since 2021 start of the playoffs, teams that out homer the other team 58-9. BA. Game 1, the Phillies hit 2 home runs. They win. Game 2, the Braves hit 2 home runs. They win. So far tonight, Phillies 2 home runs, 6-1.
Yeah. Slug matters in the postseason. Those extra base hits, the homers. There's a strike.
We just talk about it when you're facing guys like Wheeler and Strider and Nola. It's tough to string 3-4 hits together. So the ability to get a walk, a hit, and then boom.
Nola's got Albies 0-2. Acuna with a lead at first, leaning, and he takes a ball. You do wonder, it's 6-1. How does that affect Acuna's running game? For him, it's usually a pretty simple math equation. The time for the pitcher to the plate and the time for the catcher to second. If that adds up, he'll take off, but it's a little bit different game right now. And Nola checks on him. JT Realmuto is one of the great throwers in the game. Best pop time in Major League Baseball. That's the measurement from when it hits the catcher's mitt, the pop of that glove out to the pop of the infielder's glove at second. Just a little over 1.8 seconds for Realmuto on average, which is extraordinary. Albies flicks it foul.
You talk about not wanting to just go and run into an out, you know, being stupid, because in this park where the game's at 6-1 right now, you got Albies up with 33 home runs. You got Riley coming up next with 37. And, you know, if one of them pops one there, you're down 3 and you get yourself in. And like you said, JT Realmuto, one of the best in the game. So I don't want to make an out either.
1-2 the count. Albies pop up. Out in the grass goes Bryson Stott, and there is out number 2 as Albies fooled on that pitch, and he chased a changeup down, way down. And the second out of the inning. Caleb Cotham on the phone to the bullpen, just in case the Braves get a quick rally started. And that's the way you have to think about this in the postseason. A much different vibe and feel if we're in the regular season and Nola's got a 6-1 lead. You wouldn't even consider it. But with Olsen on deck, Strom will begin to get loose. Meeting at the mound here as ordered by the pitching coach. Not too late to sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook during the postseason. Bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code HEAT. Again, Rob Thompson, I think he likes where Nola is, but he wants to make sure he's ready in case it unravels quickly like it did on Elder in the third.
Well, something would be interesting. What if Riley gets on right here? Fifth inning, is he going to go pull him?
2 outs in the inning. Acuna still at first. And Riley, a little half swing. He goes. David Rackley raises the thumb on him again. Unable to check it. Oh. 1-1. Saw Jeff Hoffman join Strom in the bullpen, a right-left option in case it is required in this 5th inning. 5 of the 6 runs the Phillies scored in the third came with 2 outs. Riley is instant offense. He has had some big moments, big hits in the postseason in his young career, and a 2-run home run he hit that flipped the scoreboard in game 2, one of his biggest. Had a flare single in the first and then hit a bullet for an out in the third. There goes Acuna. Pitch is down and away, and Acuna will swipe second base. So there is a steal for the stolen base leader in the major leagues this season.
Well, he picked the perfect pitch to run on there. A 2-1 knuckle curve. Got a good jump, and JT, being such a good catch and throw guy, had no chance here to get to Speedy Acuna.
Revs him up. And now a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. 3-1 the count to Riley. Riley in the air to right field. That's deep. Back on it, Castellanos. Looks like he's got room, and he makes the play. Riley just missed it. A tick on the bat. Nola gets through 5. Only 1 run. 6-1 Phillies with Harper coming up. The sweet swing of Bryce Harper. TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive. Clutch player Bryce Harper. 44 regular season homers against Atlanta, then 4 more in the postseason against the Braves. And that 3-run home run with 2 outs in the 3rd helped set the Phillies off here. They lead 6-1. I don't know if you noticed, but in that home run trot, look at this stare down of Orlando Arcia. So Arcia not paying attention, but yep, that was Arcia's quote. Attaboy Harper, after Harper got doubled up to end game 2. Don't think Bryce Harper's not paying close attention. Players of his ilk, they're always looking for a means to get an edge, and apparently Harper has found one in the Brave shortstop.
Yeah, you don't ever want to fuel the fire, and especially a guy like Bryce Harper, who's 12 for 24 against the Braves in the postseason, and as you said, 4 long balls included.
Harper, high fly ball center field. He's watching. Harris turns. Harris leaps, and it's gone. Harper with a rainmaker. And another stare down. 7-1 Phillies. And it's turned into the Bryce Harper game again.
A hanger, 110 off the bat. Brad Hand had pretty darn good success against Bryce Harper. Oh, this one was high. I didn't know it was so high, and of course, a second stare down from Bryce Harper.
Alec Bohm takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. First career multi-homer game in the postseason for Bryce Harper. If looks could kill. MVP chance for Harper. They don't give him away in the division series, but he's certainly done enough to earn multiple division series MVP awards, and he has been torture on the Atlanta Braves for a lot of years now. It's his 5th postseason home run against Atlanta.
You can add to that now. 13 for 25 right here. Oh, look how high this was. Michael Harris actually almost fell over the wall trying to catch this ball. Just out of his reach for his 5th home run against the Braves in the last 2 postseasons.
It looked like a pitching wedge out there coming down from way up there. That was really the only question. You knew it was hit hard enough, but was it too high to get out? Oh. This crowd, they never cease to impress. Giving it right back to Braves fans now.
Now, usually you don't get this too much sometimes in NLDS, but when you get 2 division rivals like this, and I think back to 2 years ago, BA, when you and Ronnie did the Giants and Dodgers, there's no love there.
This is one of the great rivalries in the game, Phillies Braves. Fan bases know it well. It's maddening on the other end when you're on the losing end. With every pitch, it burns.
And I think for Braves fans and Phillies fans, you get used to seeing these 2 battle like this because both of them are young and both of them have guys signed for a long time.
The chop coming out at Citizens Bank Park was not on my list of things I was expecting.
Yeah, I thought we'd see a lot of red towels waved. Did not think we'd see the tomahawk chop.
Full count. And Bohm takes ball 4. Brad Hand came on, struck out 2 batters to end the 4th inning, had a runner at 3rd. Gives up the Harper homer with the matchup advantage. And now a walk to Bohm, and he'll face Bryson Stott.
Yeah, I guess after that home run to Harper, they decided to let him go at least through Stott, and I'd imagine this was going to be the last batter for Hand.
Smith-Shawver in the bullpen. He's ready.
All in.
Hand delivers. Stott in the air to left field, sinking fast. Rosario is there to make the catch. And Bohm retreats quickly to first base. Short porch in left field. Rosario with a good challenge on the ball makes the play for out number 1. And Brian Snitker's on his way.
Now we wondered when we were going to see the 20-year-old today, and now he's going to come in this game. But with the Phillies leading the Braves 7-1 instead of the first pitch.
Some story. Smith-Shawver coming in. Bryce Harper doing what he always does. Harper with his 2nd home run of the game. A leadoff solo shot makes it 7-1 Phillies. Pitching change here for Brian Snitker. 20-year-old A.J. Smith-Shawver, who was in high school when the Braves won their World Series 2 years ago. 5 big league games, Jeff, and here he is making his postseason debut in this environment.
Yeah, like you said, this was one of the 2 possibilities for the Game 3 start. Now he's coming in. High velocity fastball. 95, 96, 97.
Charlie Morton, a finger injury, not on the roster, unable to start this Game 3. That's why the decision came down to Elder or Smith-Shawver. Brian Snitker going with the experience. It's not much experience, but it is a season of experience. And Elder got off to a great start. He went 6 up, 6 down with 4 Ks. He gave you a look at the shadows, the sun shining off the batter's eye once that subsided. Not saying that was the only reason, but that was certainly a factor, as Kevin Long pointed out. Phillies erupt in the 3rd inning. Elder could not get through that 3rd. He lasted just 2 outs into the 3rd. A 6th spot, including a Harper 3-run homer. And now Harper has 2 home runs in the game. And that's ball 4. And what must be going through the head and heart of A.J. Smith-Shawver here?
Well, that's the hard thing, is trying to keep your poise in this situation. But you're 20 years old, B.A. You dream of this your whole life.
And now 2 men aboard with 1 out. And Castellanos.
Oh, no.
Smith-Shawver, a star high school quarterback in Texas at Colleyville. And you know, if you're a quarterback in Texas when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, there's some pressure in that too.
Yeah.
Maybe not like this pressure, but he's been in the fire a long time as he gets Castellanos to chase a low fastball.
You being from Georgetown, Texas, you know a little something about that, right?
Friday Night Lights.
You were more of an option quarterback, though.
I never felt pressure, Frenchie. That's yeah, right.
Oh.
Yeah, Charlie Morton was supposed to get this ball if he was healthy in this game. Laughing today, looking at Smith-Shawver. Charlie Morton was drafted in June of 2002. Smith-Shawver was born 5 months later.
That puts it into perspective. And he deals a strike. Pitches down in the zone with that fastball. It's got a little finishing kick to it. A lot of hitters think that's going low, but there's something to it.
It stays that plane at the bottom.
And he's got a good slider, too, that he throws hard. He can throw that slider 89, 90 miles an hour. See what he does here. 2-2. A little changeup misses. I would imagine that would be the toughest pitch when you're amped up in an environment like this.
Trying to overthrow it. Absolutely.
What Smith-Shawver does here is going to determine whether Brian Snitker punts on this game and gets ready for game 4 loaded up or not. That one's in the air to center field. Sounded a little clunky, maybe on the hands. Harris makes a catch. And the runners stay put as we send it down to Matt Weiner. What do you have, Matt?
Well, B.A., you mentioned Smith-Shawver was a really good high school quarterback in Texas. In fact, he was committed to play football at Texas Tech before he turned to baseball full time. It's extraordinary he's out here in the postseason at the age of 20. Even more extraordinary, he had never pitched on a mound until 2020. That's when his travel coach asked him to move over from his usual position, third base, and give it a try. To that point, he had no idea he could throw a 95-mile-per-hour fastball, and as you know, most humans cannot.
It is quite the story. Yeah, you say never pitched, and seriously never played the actual position of pitcher until 3 years ago. And here he is, not only in the big leagues, but also in the postseason for the first time. 2 men are out. Brandon Marsh has had a good night. He's had back-to-back 2 strike hits.
Starting to see that velocity tick up too. His first couple 94, 95. Now you're starting to see 96, 97 from the young righty.
0-2. Marsh with 2 runners on, and Smith-Shawver, close one, 98-mile-an-hour cheese. Right at the bottom of the zone. Sometimes that fastball that defies gravity can fool an umpire too.
That's one of those though, he set up outside and had to reach across, and sometimes that looked like a ball. It was a close pitch.
Darno has the pitch comm on his knee, the keyboard, keypad, asking Smith-Shawver if he can hear him. (7-1). Harper's homer to start this inning put it there, and a swing and a miss. Big curveball from Smith-Shawver. Nasty stuff. How about Bryce Harper? His 5th go-ahead homer in his postseason career as a Philly. 7-1 Philadelphia. 5 in the books in game 3. Aaron Nola been given some run support, and he is pitching a gem. Just 1 run through the first 5 innings. Got out of a little bit of a jam. In the 5th inning, had bullpen activity behind him while he was pitching in the 5th. Got through it. Now ready to face Olson, Ozuna, and Darno. Bryce Harper's 2nd home run of the game has stretched the Phillies' lead to 7-1. And Nola goes to work here in his 6th inning.
Tell you, it'd have been interesting last inning, B.A., if Riley would have got on what Rob Thompson would have done if he would have gone to the lefty.
Boy, it felt like he was making a move right there.
It did, and after the Harper home run now, another run for you. 80 pitches, you probably want to try to, if you can, get Nola through 7, as you see a postseason career high tonight of 7 strikeouts.
0-2 to Olson, and a swing and a miss. He got him, made him look bad. Olson way out in front of a curveball, and it is out number 1. Keep adding to that postseason record. That's number 8. Well, Max and the Bleacher Report Sports add-on is available, and it's on us for a limited time. After the promo period, it'll be $9.99 to a Max-based plan, but we are streaming on Max. Marcell Ozuna with 1 away.
I love that hat that woman was wearing. He is so much fun down there with the visiting teams too, when you mess around with them.
It's a great mascot rivalry here. The OG, the Fanatic, and Blooper in Atlanta. A lot of tension between those two and their fans right now. Marcell Ozuna sends one into left field. Marsh cuts it off and will hold Ozuna to a single. Nice play by Marsh. But a base hit, and the Braves have a runner on with 1 away. Ozuna with his first hit of the series.
Yeah, that was a sinker that rode right back over the plate to where Ozuna was, and Eddie Rosario on deck. You wonder if this is going to be Nola's last batter, the lefty in the pen.
Travis d'Arnaud is 0 for 2. Phillies set up for a double play ball. d'Arnaud skies one foul. Slices in the seats. And Nola continues to get ahead of the hitters. Strom back up and throwing.
I gotta believe Strom's ready by now. What do you think?
I think he's yeah, he doesn't take much anyway to get loose. Rob Thompson had him up quickly. An emergency warm-up last inning just in case. Didn't need him. There's a strike. 0-2 the count on d'Arnaud. Nola's controlled the bottom of this order. The last 4 hitters in the Braves batting order 0 for 8. The 0-2. Close pitch. Real Muto makes him look good always.
I was going to say that'd have been a tough one to give him when you give the inside the pitch before, but good location. Now see if he tries to go back out there, maybe with that curveball.
Nola wants a ground ball double play. d'Arnaud tied up. Poured that sinker in on his hands. Follow through, got a piece of Real Muto. Good bit of sportsmanship there. The two catchers, they understand that follow through can do some damage. d'Arnaud checking on Real Muto.
The two catchers have spent a lot of time in the NL East against each other in their careers.
The 1-2 again. Roll over foul. Marcell Ozuna, 1-out single. d'Arnaud battling here. Still a 1-2 count. Pitch number 90 for Nola. 2-2. For Nola, it took him only 88 pitches to get through 7 shutout last Wednesday against the Marlins. 5 1/3 thus far tonight. He's had a little bit of stress, but the 6-run outburst in the third has changed the game plan a little bit. Another foul ball by d'Arnaud.
And he talked about one thing Nola's done a good job tonight is shutting down the bottom part of the Braves lineup, BA, because the Braves, as you heard Matt Weiner talk about a little bit ago about the 9-hole, but that bottom part of the lineup feeds the top part of the lineup, but he's been able to face Acuna with nobody on.
Acuna does have 2 hits. Here's a 2-2. d'Arnaud, a swing and a miss. Chase the high fastball. It's a strikeout night for Aaron Nola, his 9th. Rob Thompson on his way out. Be the last batter that Nola faces.
Climb the zone. And listen to this place for Aaron Nola.
Nola gives the ball to his manager, and they will let him know here in Philadelphia. Is presented by Booking.com. Hey, this October, folks, TNT Sports will produce a postseason altcast for every game of the NLCS. With a twist, you got Pedro Martinez running point, some of the best current and former Hispanic/Latino MLB players as they break down the game like never before. Watch the postseason altcast Peloteros, every NLCS game exclusively on True TV and Max. That'll be a lot of fun. All right, Frenchie, Aaron Nola delivers once again in his first 2 starts in the postseason.
Yeah, really only had that 3rd inning. Other than that, he was in complete control tonight. Breaking balls right there, that knuckle curve. Gets Ozuna there. Climbs the ladder. We saw 3 or 4 strikeouts on that high fastball. Right here, that knuckle curve to get it. And then, of course, his last pitch of the night, his 9th strikeout. High fastball on d'Arnaud.
Adds to his career best strikeouts in the postseason. Nola terrific in his first 2 starts, and now gives way to his bullpen. Left-hander Matt Strahm is on, and that forces a change for Brian Snitker. Eddie Rosario is out. Kevin Pillar will pinch hit. 2 outs in the inning. Runner at first, Ozuna. Pillar's first at bat, and Strahm pours one in for strike 1.
Yeah, a 7-1 ball game right here. You can imagine he's going to come in trying to pour strikes. Especially a guy like Pillar who's fresh off the bench.
Oh, and 2 the count. Strahm with Ozuna at first. That one's upstairs. One thing about Nola, it's so interesting because after his start in game 2 of the wild card series, he and his wife announced that they're expecting. He chose that moment to publicize that on his social media account. So this has been quite the 2 weeks here for Team Nola. And he just keeps rolling along here. He will be a free agent at season's end. Pitched well early in the postseason last year. And he and Wheeler make quite a 1-2 combo at the top of that rotation.
And it seems when you get to the postseason, you've seen it the 2nd year in a row, those 2 rise up even more.
Pillar at the plate in a 2-2 count. Fights it all foul. On the other side for the Braves, and there's still a lot of game left here, but Atlanta, knowing they have their 2 star starters lined up. Spencer Strider will get the ball tomorrow. Max Fried, if it goes 5, will get the ball in Atlanta for game 5. And all checked out well with that finger in the blister, which was a good sign and good news for Brian Snitker. We were down there before the game, and even Max said, I'm good to go. Yeah. No issues in his start other than just being a little bit rusty after 18 days off.
Yeah, it was just funny how game 3 was more going to be a bullpen game for the Braves. Phillies had their guy. Tomorrow going to be the opposite. The Braves will have their ace on the mound.
Strahm deals low. And from 0-2 to 3-2. Atlanta has that quick strike ability. Arcia due next. Pillar, the pinch hitter. 3-2 the count. Ozuna takes off, and Pillar pops it up. Foul territory. That'll be in the seats.
Yeah, Pillar worked the count to 3-2, fouled off that tough cutter, and he got a good pitch to hit there and fouled it straight back.
Good battle here. Long at bat for Pillar. 34-year-old outfielder, platoon player with Rosario. Ozuna takes off, and it's ball 4. Oh, a terrific sequence there for Pillar. Fights his way on base, and now 2 men are aboard with 2 outs.
Find great stays across the USA, from boutique hotels to beach house getaways. Booking.com, booking.com.
Yeah.
Here's Arcia. Got to watch that first pitch with Arcia. He loves to swing. And he does swing, and he lines one into center field, a base hit. Ozuna's going to be waved home. Throw comes in. It is cut off, and the Braves strike with 2 outs. Orlando Arcia with an RBI single. It is 7-2. And after that 9-pitch walk to Pilar, Strom gives up an RBI to Arcia. And that's going to get Harris a swing in this 6th inning.
Yeah, good call, B.A. You said he's aggressive early. As you see, he gets a cutter right there and lines it right back up the middle. And Ron Washington over at third. Look at this. Rojas gets the ball before he's there and is aggressive. And it could have been close at home. I think Ozuna would have beat it out.
Some guys glide, some guys slide, and some guys just plant.
Yep. Yeah.
That sounded like it hurt. Ozuna taking up some dirt at home plate.
It's a big boy coming around third right there.
A lot of momentum to get into a slide. So Ozuna is in on a key RBI single for Arcia, just for his mindset as well. His 2nd hit of the postseason this year. Meeting at the mound buys some time for Ser Anthony Dominguez, who's just now starting to throw.
Interesting, because if he's just starting to throw like this, if Harris is on, I don't know if he's going to be ready for Acuna.
2 on, 2 out. Harris bouncing ball. Harper scoops it. Played it right into the short hop, like a long-time first baseman should. The man just got out there this year. He's popped 2 homers, flashed in a little leather. 7-2 Phillies as we go to the home 6th. The Hank Aaron Award is awarded annually to the best overall offensive performer in each league. You can cast your vote. Just scan the QR code. Go to MLB.com/Aaron. Candidates in this series: Acuna and Olsen, and of course, the man of Game 3, Bryce Harper. Smith-Shawver back to work, just letting it fly here with that big fastball. Kevin Pillar stays in to play left field after a pinch hit appearance in the top of this inning. Braves get 1 on an Arcia single. So 7-2 Philadelphia.
Hey, that was a huge out by Strom there with Harris. If Harris is able to get on right there.
Top of the order coming up. Dominguez and again, loosening as fast as he can.
I did not think Dominguez would have been ready. I honestly don't. If he was still loosening, I mean, they might have been able to buy him a little time, but I have a feeling we're going to see him now in that top of the 7th.
And he will have the top of the Braves order. Rojas with a swing and a foul. Elevated fastball by Smith-Shawver. It's a fascinating study here. Smith-Shawver, 5 major league games this season. That's it. He has climbed the ranks in a hurry. Called strike 3. Smith-Shawver paints. And Rojas is retired in the matchup of rookies. 2nd strikeout for Smith-Shawver.
Darno right on the corner, but you got to credit Darno there. Did a good job of really framing that pitch.
There's a strike to Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber 0 for 3 tonight. Brad Hand struck him out in the 4th inning. The lefty on lefty matchup. And a swing and a foul right off the mask of Darno. Smith-Shawver is loaded up in a hurry and coming right at him.
Yeah, and the one thing that when you look at him too, you figure at least this first time through the lineup, he's going to have an advantage. None of these Phillies had ever faced him before, and so not familiar with the way stuff comes out. You know, I don't care what pitcher you got out there, BA. When the pitcher and the hitter face each other for the first time, pitcher's always going to have an advantage because of you've never seen him before. You can compare him to people, but it's still not the same as facing somebody.
0-2 to Schwarber. Oh. Smith-Shawver did appear out of the bullpen once at the big league level. 6 games, 5 starts for him this year. But was asked when he got called up in May, have you pitched out of the bullpen? He goes, I think I pitched in relief in summer ball.
Oh, right.
And the context is, well, wow, that must have been a long time ago, but it wasn't.
Just a couple years
just
ago.
Here.
Think about it. If he wasn't here, he'd be getting ready for the Red Raiders for a little Saturday action.
He was thinking he was going to be the next Pat Mahomes at Texas Tech. But the Braves made him think otherwise as Schwarber lines one to right, and Acuna right there on the sinking line drive. 2 outs. I talked to Smith-Shawver before the game. I said, hey, do you miss those college football Saturdays? Obviously, he would have been a part of that. He goes, you know, yeah, a little bit, but I would have missed this more, and this is pretty cool, too.
Well, I mean, pitching in this place with this magnitude of a game.
Braves drafted him in the 7th round, and they signed him over slot. He got nearly $1 million to sign. So that was a pretty easy decision for the kid from Colleyville. Here's Trey Turner now.
Think about it. He came in and walked Real Muto on 4 pitches, and after that really has settled down and been very poised on the mound.
Oh, wave and a miss made Turner look bad. Big breaking ball from Smith-Shawver. Wow. That is
serious downward tilt to it.
That's a bite. 1-1. Big curve missed. All new experiences here for these Phillies hitters. A.J. Smith-Shawver. 2 balls and a strike. And Turner in the air, deep into left field. Towering fly ball. Pilar at the wall. It's gone! A wall scraper to left. Trey Turner makes it 8-2 Phillies. His first home run of this postseason.
Trey Turner on a 2-1 count got a fastball. His only fastball of the account, BA. 106 off the bat. 379. Houston hoped it was going to be too high. Another ball that went so high and snuck out.
Now Harper, first ball swinging into center field. He missed it on the bat, and Harris will make the play. Phillies keep the good vibes rolling at Citizens Bank Park. They have thrived in this environment. What might be the best home field advantage in baseball. 4th homer of the game. Turner makes it 8-2. Next up, Sir Anthony Dominguez. And he'll be coming out of Rob Thompson's bullpen, starting the 7th inning with the top of the Braves order coming up.
Yeah, Sir Anthony Dominguez did that through an inning in game 1, and actually 2 runners were on with 1 out, and he was able to strike out this man and Austin Riley behind him.
Ronald Acuna will start it for Atlanta. 2 hits tonight for Acuna. Both of those at-bats with nobody on. Of course, he led off the game in the first. But his double in the 3rd was the first hit in that inning. As Acuna into the ground, Turner slings it, and Acuna's retired. Dominguez gets the ground ball out. 1 away in this 7th inning. Acuna 2 for 4.
They grounded this in the ground, and good play by Turner here. There's certain guys, you know, you got to get it and get rid of it quick, and he was able to do that. Funny enough, you know, Dominguez likes to mix in that slider too, but both games so far you're seeing him just rear back and bring the gas.
Facing Ozzie Albies now. Albies drove in the first Atlanta run in the 3rd. And he sends that one past Stott into right center, a base hit. Ozzie Albies with a couple of hits. He's hit in every game in this series.
You got it.
And a base runner with 1 out for Austin Riley.
I got a changeup from Dominguez on that pitch.
Riley 1 out of 3. Single in the first. He lined out in the third. Was the last out with a runner at second base in the fifth inning. Nola got him to end that inning. Nola was terrific tonight. A bit of a sprint for Nola. 5 2/3, just 1 run allowed, 9 Ks. A new playoff high for him. Strom got the final out of the 6th, and now Seranthony Dominguez.
Riley was asking if it was on the pitch or the swing.
Is that when the umpire just says yes?
Get back in the box.
Lays off 98 upstairs. .99 that time. Checks his swing again. 2-1 the count.
And you see Realmuto kind of turning a little bit. I think on that one Riley didn't go, but he wanted the call with the 1-1 heater up top.
2-1 on Riley now. Ooh, had a big cut at that one. They're staying with a fastball against Riley. He's had his struggles with the fastball here. Remember, the game plan for the Phillies in game 1 was to put velocity on this Braves lineup, especially Riley. That home run he hit in game 2 was on a breaking ball, the go-ahead homer. See what Dominguez does. Sticks with it and powers it right by him. 99. And Riley is gone, and it's out number 2.
You saw this from the bullpen, as you said, B.A., the whole first game. And then, of course, Wheeler lighten up with that. And you're right, Hoffman threw him that 3-2 slider, the one that he hit the game winner Monday night in Atlanta.
Here's Matt Olson. Olson, first ball swinging, gets jammed. Routine fly ball to Marsh. Seranthony Dominguez, a strong showing in the 7th, puts up a 0. All Phillies so far. Stretch time at Citizens Bank Park. 8-2 Philadelphia. Take a look at tonight's Jeep game summary. A 6 spot for the Phillies in the 3rd inning, just like game 3 of the 2022 NLDS. It's 8-2 Philadelphia. Phillies have popped 4 home runs in this game. Brian Anderson with Jeff Francoeur, and that 6-run inning is a game changer. But this bullpen has been excellent for the Phillies, kind of keeping the Braves where they are. But the Phillies, since August 1st, they lead the majors in home runs, and they've hit 4 of them tonight.
Well, that's the thing. Castellanos hit the one to tie the game early. The one here, and you'll see in a minute from Harper, as you see, every one has been high. But that's the pitch right there that really kind of ignited this crowd to make it 4-1. Harper added one off the hand, and of course Turner snuck one over left. The crazy thing, a lot of times, B.A., you'll see the line drive home runs.
Yeah,
as you said, these are
long
pitching wedges. These are pitching wedges that are going up and coming down and spinning, as you see, 38, 34, 35, and 40 degrees. And that has kind of been the story of that game. That, and as we said, Nola with 9 strikeouts on the other side.
And just for context, optimum launch angle is between 25 and 30 degrees.
I needed that yesterday.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Alec Bohm leads off. 8-2 Philadelphia, and we're still watching A.J. Smith-Shawver get some valuable postseason experience. And let's just put you in the manager's hat right now, because you know this question is coming to Brian Snitker after the game. Smith-Shawver versus Bryce Elder. That was basically the decision. There was some talk for the Braves that they would have a bullpen game, but basically it was those two. He went with Bryce Elder. I'm sure the questions are coming, why not this kid?
Yeah, and you know what? You can second guess because, like anything, and we've talked about it, it's easy to sit up here now and say, you know, the way you're seeing Smith-Shawver throw, say, yeah, maybe that could have been, you know, the way to go. Look, Bryce Elder was an all-star this year. In the first 2 innings, I mean, we were sitting here, shadows or not, he was outstanding, and the ball was down.
Bouncing ball by Ball. Marcia will make the play for out number 1.
But, you know, things change so quick here, you know, during this kind of series in this park. And I think the tough thing is, you know, if you were going to go Elder and maybe make it a bullpen game, you know, maybe the one question you could say was, did you need someone up sooner?
Yeah.
You know,
quick.
If Harper came up in that situation, is that Brad Hand in the 3rd inning, you know, to try to keep this close? Because, you know, you had Nola on the other side. And look, Brian Snitker was, you know, very open with us. You know, as both managers have been so great, but he's open with us and said, we got to be able to keep this close because we're facing Aaron Nola. And again, he knew the difference in this ball game, just like you're going to go into Rob Thompson tomorrow, and he's going to know Strider's on the other side, and it's more of a bullpen game.
So the game tomorrow for Rob Thompson is going to feel like the game today for Brian Snitker.
Exactly.
Rob Thompson is hoping to get there with a 2-1 lead and put the Braves on the brink of elimination. That would be the difference. And that is a big difference. And if you're Brian Snitker too, there is you play your personnel, and if you're going to have some guys step up, and if you're going to get to that point and your goal is to win a World Series, you've got to find out about certain players. And if the Braves do come back or they do advance, I'm sure there'll be different decisions made, but they grinded over that decision. Brian Snitker told us they did not make that call until yesterday morning. It wasn't announced publicly until this morning.
Yep. Yeah, you know, you can look at so many numbers, so many different ways.
Stott a fly ball to left, and Pilar will put it away for out number 2. Wear what the players are wearing on field during the postseason. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, tees, and more, and root for your favorite team at MLBshop.com. As Ryan Kerkering loosening in the Phillies bullpen. As you were saying, Jeff?
I just know in the postseason, you have some guys that have tons of experience, so they know how to pitch it. 90, 91, moving the ball, hitting spots, but you see velocity went out. Not saying that it happens all the time, because it doesn't, but sometimes not seeing a guy and seeing 96, 97 like this can be difficult. I'm not saying that he would have lasted 6 innings or 7 innings, but again, you never know. Those are the questions that we'll see what Brian Snitker has to say.
95 right down the middle. Real Muto swings and misses.
You know, Rob Thompson admitted to us after game 1, if it doesn't turn out that way and the bullpen doesn't do, I'm sure I'm going to have to answer questions for why he took Ranger Suarez out with 3 2/3.
Absolutely. And that game was on the brink too, as Real Muto chases another one. Rob Thompson also said, just watching Kerkering here, he told us, I was looking for a soft landing for Kerkering, who has very little major league experience, and the offense gave him one in game 2 of that wild card game.
Yeah, and
maybe Brian Snitker is using the same kind of philosophy here.
He proved it to him, and then he didn't give him a soft landing spot in game 1 here.
Needed the one outing to prove it and then go from there. That one just missed. Just missed the grass. Look at that face.
Yeah.
Smith-Shawver's like, eee.
He's like, you know what? I think I might just go back with the heater right here up.
And you know,
there's a video
Real
of him spinning a football, man, like 81 yards.
He's got a football in his locker at all times. 2-2. Misses with a slider. Castellanos due next. Smith-Shawver allowed a walk his first inning, gave up just that walk in the final 2 outs. Gave up the home run to Turner. That was the one that was 40 degrees of launch angle. That is crazy. There aren't many ballparks that goes out at that launch angle. It's been the only run Smith-Shawver is allowed. 2 outs, and that one right there. Smith-Shawver rings the bell. And the 20-year-old rookie, he's getting that playoff experience now. Might be a dude moving forward. 8-2 Phillies, 7 in the books. We go to the 8th. Braves are running out of outs. It's a game of youth these days, and Orion Kerkering will enter. Just 3 games in the regular season. This will be his 3rd game in the postseason. Does not allow the run in his first 2 innings of postseason work. Todd Kerkering, his father, a viral sensation, a proud dad. He had his phone out. He videoed the entire run into the game from the bullpen. I want to tell Todd we have video of that for him, and with much more expensive cameras, but as he's done his whole life, he's got his son captured on his own phone.
Come on, man, those dads, like, they're old school, man.
Marcell Ozuna.
Imagine telling your dad that. What do you think he'd tell you?
He's still trying to learn how to use that phone.
Exactly.
Still has a flip phone. Not true,
but almost true.
1-1. Kerkering deals. Ozuna takes the strike.
That's his pitch. 80-85% of the time. Even though he throws 97, 98, you're going to see that slurve.
Started the year in A ball. It's one thing to start the year in A ball, make it to the big leagues. It's another thing to be a factor in the postseason. One ball, 2 strikes on Ozuna.
And think about it. Both guys in the game right now pitching started the year in A ball.
Almost never would see one guy in a decade do that.
And not with these 2 teams
No.
and the players and the payroll.
And the expectations. Yep. 2-2 and a high fastball fouled away. They seem poised. They seem ready for the moment. We're seeing rookies just thrive all over the postseason right now. Travis d'Arnaud due next. Ozuna in a 3-2 count. Kerkering deals, bouncing ball. Oh, look at this play. Turner slides, throws. Harper can't knock it down. Oh, he was caught in between, whether the stretch or not. Heck of a play by Turner to even have a chance there. And that'll go as an infield hit for Ozuna to start the 8th.
I'd say that was a great stop by Turner, and you see how he kind of got rid of it. That's one of those with Ozuna. You wonder if he would rather just take that second right there and plant your feet to try to throw. He caught Harper on that in between.
Harper just 36 starts at first base this year. Had the Tommy John surgery. They did a newer procedure called the Arthritis Bridge to help him come back. It supports that repaired tendon, the synthetic piece in there. That really has allowed him to come back faster. But the idea was he would come back as a DH and then he would play first base. That allowed Schwarber to be the primary DH again. Their defense instantly got better. Harper has done a great job at first base. Bobby Dickerson has been a huge help to him on the defensive side. There's Bobby. He's always been great with infielders, especially corner infielders. But you can see it show up in little plays like that. Harper adjusting his footwork and how to pick the ball or where to go with his feet on short throws like that. It'll come, though. He's a great athlete, and he's really played the position well. Two and two the count. Count stays at 2-2.
It's interesting. You look at this game right now. I told you the stat about teams winning by out homering. Both teams have 9 hits right now. BA. Difference is the 4 home runs for the Phillies.
In the air to left center, hit on the barrel. Marsh got a great jump, was squeezed in the gap anyway, and he makes a nice running catch. First out. Chalk one up to defensive positioning by the analytics department right there. Well placed Marsh. One away for Orion Kirkering as we send it down to Matt Weiner. What do you have, Matt?
Well, you talked about the rise of Orion Kirkering. He is on his 5th professional level, and that's extraordinary, not unlike his name, Orion Kirkering. He told me today his parents named him for the constellation, the one in the northern sky. And in Greek mythology, as Frenchie knows very well, Orion was an extraordinarily strong hunter as well. He's also picked up another name since arriving here in Philadelphia. The veteran bullpen mate Jeff Hoffman calls him the Diaper. I like Orion better, but, you know, take your pick.
Diaper, wow. Diaper. Forrest Wall pinch hitting. Frenchie's knowledge of Greek mythology starts and ends with the hero.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Matt lost me that whole time.
You checked out?
Yeah, that was good.
We'll go through it. We'll watch the tape later.
I got back when he said diaper. I know more about changing diapers than that.
2-0 to Wall. First action here for Forrest Wall. Added to this Braves roster, mostly as a pinch running threat. But getting an at-bat here in an 8-2 game. You just try to glean everything you can.
Yeah, and you think you'll see some sort of this tomorrow night. We haven't seen Von Grissom yet on the other side, but if Suarez starts tomorrow, Pillar's going to be in early, and then you imagine Rosario at some point. So getting Wall a bat here in game 3.
Kirkering's 2-2, and Wall in the air to left. Marshes is back. 2 outs. 2 outs to left field, and we remind you, the Stars and Stripes, they are back in action against one of Europe's best. Watch the U.S. men's national team battle Germany Saturday on TNT. It also streams on Max. Orion Kirkering with 2 away after an infield hit to start the inning. Ozuna still at first, and Orlando Arcia coming up. In there, 1-1. Kirkering added to the roster September 22nd. He's hardly been in the big leagues. And now his 3rd appearance in the postseason. Throwing strikes. 1-2 the count. Arcia to Turner, goes the easy way, and Orion Kirkering continues to shine. Proud Papa, holding back all the tears. Well, we got a former Phillies manager on our mind. Charlie Manuel continues to improve. He suffered a stroke a couple of weeks ago. A legend here. 12 seasons as a manager in the big leagues, 9 of those coming here in Philadelphia, and was the skipper of that Jimmy Rollins 2008 Philadelphia Phillies World Series winning team. And good reports coming in. He's even taken a little batting practice, we understand, lately. So Charlie, if you're out there, we're thinking of you. This was Thursday. It's a week ago. He can always rake.
Charlie, all he wanted was people to hit bombs.
In the air, deep left center field. Castellanos has another one for Charlie. His son loving it. Multi-homer games for Harper and Castellanos. The 5th of the night for the Phillies, and it's 9-2.
Now, speaking of bombs, 112 off the bat, 449 feet. I was saying, if there's something Charlie Manuel loved, it was the long ball. Castellanos, 2 home runs tonight.
He and Harper, and the Phillies go to banging here tonight. Knew that was going. That's another moonshot. Long way out of here for Castellanos. He is really striking it well right now. Even in the game, in game 2, he had 3 in that game over 100 miles an hour. 2 hits in the game, and his fly ball that Harris caught. Maybe in the summertime that's out.
Yeah.
But he sent Harris all the way to the wall. And the chop is back as the Philly fans mocking the Braves fans here. That's the second time they've done that. Great players on the field, great teams, great rivalry, and it's got a little touch of AEW to it as well. That ball's hit well to left field. Marsh is watching this one fly. Another one is out of here. Brandon Marsh with his third hit of the game. The 6th home run for the Fightin' Phils, and it's 10-2. A franchise record in the postseason. The 6th home run of the game for Philadelphia.
Well, B.A., you asked me earlier about hitting at this park. The one thing this park gives you is the ability to hit line drives like this and drive them in. And that was a great swing by Marsh. Let the ball travel knowing you're getting velocity. And hits the 6th home run for the Fightin' Phils.
End of the line for A.J. Smith-Shawver. Marsh chases him. 10-2 Philadelphia. Pitching change. Terrific home run hitting team, the Philadelphia Phillies, and they have gotten after it tonight. 6 home runs, 2 by Harper, including a 3-run blast in the 6-run third. Castellanos with the longest of the night, traveled 449, and then how about Brandon Marsh with his first home run of this postseason and his 3rd hit of the game. And it is bedlam here at Citizens Bank Park. Ties a postseason record in baseball. Cubs in the 2015 year had a 6 home run game. And they have broken a franchise record here for the Phillies as Daysbel Hernandez. The theme continues. A rookie making his postseason debut.
Well, this was a guy that made this roster because of the 2 inter-squad games that he threw after being hurt for a lot of the year. Brian Snitker trying to get Smith-Shawver through and save the rest of the bullpen for tomorrow night.
Bouncing ball, nice snatch by Hernandez. And Rojas is retired. Looks like the Phillies will have Michael Lorenzen coming out for the 9th inning. A couple of close games to start this division series. Phillies shut out the Braves 3-0 in game 1 Saturday. Monday was a back and forth affair. 5-4 was the final. But it's all Phillies tonight in their first game at home in this division series. Smith-Shawver finishes with 2 2/3, 3 hits, 3 runs all earned. All the hits were homers, a walk and 3 Ks. Castellanos and Marsh go back-to-back to start this 8th inning. And Schwarber, a swing and a miss. Mentioned that 2015 Cubs team that hit 6 homers against the Cardinals. Schwarber hit one of those. So he was part of that one. He has not been part of this one. He's 0 for 4. Just 2 teams have hit 6 home runs in a postseason game. His Cubs in 15 and his Phillies here in 2023. Yikes. Smoked him. Slider in. Like a gnat, just brushed it off on his way to first.
Yeah, just overcooked this slider here, trying to bury it back foot. See where it gets Schwarber.
Oh. That was dangerously close. Yikes.
Then it went and hit Darno after.
Yes.
Well, the story for me is the bottom part of this Phillies lineup, 6, 7, and 8 tonight. 5 RBIs and 3 home runs. at that bottom part of the order between Real Muto, Castellanos, and Marsh.
Trey Turner had a towering fly ball home run in the 6th. 2 hits tonight for Turner. Daysbel Hernandez, just 4 games in the major leagues this year. He impressed so much. Chance of we want Strider raining down right now. Tomorrow night, Spencer Strider, the Braves ace, will get his chance.
Yeah, you know, he's sitting there listening to it, so you want to talk about fuel on the fire. Thought this series would have a little action in it, right?
The juice, it is full of juice.
Yep.
Dripping with drama, this series. A swing and a miss. And the count 3-2. Spencer Strider pitching game 1. He pitched well, but on the wrong end of a shutout.
Oh no!
And a bullpen game for the Phillies as Turner draws the walk. And here comes Harper. And on a night when the home run has been the theme, Bryce Harper has a chance to tie a major league record and do something no Philly has ever done in a postseason game, and that's hit 3 homers.
Well, he just missed his 3rd last time, BA, against Smith-Shawver on the first pitch.
Travis d'Arnaud asking Hernandez, can you hear? Mark Carlson with some instructions on his way out. Bryce Harper tonight delivering in the big moments, as he does a lot. 3-run game-changing home run in the 3rd. That was with 2 outs. And then the lead off the 5th to straightaway center field. And now 3 home runs this postseason. Last player to hit 3 home runs in a postseason game was Chris Taylor. That was 2 years ago against the Braves in the NLCS. Remember game 5. Babe Ruth did it twice. It's happened 12 times by 11 different players. And Harper has a chance right here.
Pablo Sandoval did it in the World Series with the Giants.
The Panda.
One of the great nicknames. Oh.
Two men aboard for Harper. Harper, a swing and a miss.
I say, I can promise you one thing, he's not going to get cheated here.
Two and one to count. And Hernandez steals a foul ball. 2 home runs tonight for Harper. If you've been tracking on with us tonight, he is now the all-time division series home run king. He passed Chipper Jones, who had 9 DS homers. That's something.
It's a pretty good little list right there, huh?
Nice list. Beltran, Jim Edmonds, former Philly Jason Worth. Harper takes a ball inside. Now the count 3-2. Bohm due next. And the 3-2. Harper breaks his bat. One hopper out to Arcia, steps on the bag, a throw to first in time, and a double play to end the inning. Hernandez does a nice job. Back-to-back homers, however, Castellanos and Marsh. 6 bombs. The Phillies lead at 10-2. The 2023 National League Division Series is presented by Booking.com. Michael Lorenzen will get this 9th inning. He'll try to bring the Phillies home and take a 2-1 series advantage in this best of 5. 29 games in the regular season, mostly as a starter, but he'll be a reliever in roles like this in the postseason.
He came over to the Phillies at the deadline and threw a no-hitter for the Phillies, but the last month kind of struggled down the road.
Lorenzen facing Michael Harris the second.
Fastball, slider, sprinkling that change, majority of time to lefties.
Harris 0 for 3. He's having a rough start to this postseason. 0 for 10. And a lot of rollover ground balls for Michael Harris.
A lot of early swings too, when you're trying to do too much sometimes instead of being able to get into the count.
He did make the defensive play of this series at this point. What the Braves need is bat. He stepped up there in a big spot in the 6th inning. He was at the play with a run in and 2 men aboard, and a ground out to first ended the threat in the 6th inning.
And that was the part of the game that we said that Strong got that huge out because did not think Dominguez might have been ready. And Ronald Acuna was on deck.
Yep, left Acuna on deck, who led off the next inning. And the rally averted. Foul territory. Bohm ditches the cap, makes a catch on the logo for out number 1. Lorenzen retires Harris. 1 away here in the 9th inning. And now it's Ronald Acuna. Everybody stays. There's nothing like Citizens Bank Park. This is a special venue. We called a lot of postseason games on TBS. 08, 09, 10. Roy Halladay's no-hitter. It was loud. I mean, it was loud. It was deafening, but I don't know, Frenchie, coming out of the pandemic, it's just another level. Look at this play by Turner. Wow. A slide, a spin, and a perfect throw to get Acuna. Brilliant play by Trey Turner.
Yeah, right here again with Ronald Acuna's speed too, knowing you had to get there, just gets it. Beautiful job of speed turn. Yeah, Brian Snicker talking to us today said this by far is the loudest place you can possibly go to.
Well, they finally got back into postseason last year after a decade drought. It had changed. And you didn't think it could really go to another level, but it has.
They really have.
They don't rest. No. They never turn off the engines here. Albies with 2 outs in the 9th. Record-setting performance for the Phillies tonight, setting a franchise record for home runs in a postseason game with 6, tying a major league record. Multi-homers from Harper and Castellanos. The 1-1 bounced it in.
If you're the Braves, obviously it's not how you wanted this night to go. You know, especially getting the 1-0 lead early, seeing what Elder was doing. On the other hand, they've been able to use kind of the non-high leverage guys in the bullpen. So if you're that man right there, you're thinking we got our ace tomorrow with all the bullpen that we want. And as the game went on, you got the feeling that's where his mind started spinning too, knowing that this wasn't an elimination game.
If there's any disadvantage, as Albies walks here with 2 outs, any disadvantage the wild card delivers, it is the fact that the Phillies use their top 2 pitchers, Wheeler and Nola, so that put them 1 game behind as they started the postseason, or started the DS, I should say. But the Phillies have a lot of confidence in Ranger Suarez, who has great numbers against Atlanta and pitched well 3 2/3 in game 1. Riley on the first pitch, a base hit to left. Albies all the way to third. Austin Riley wasting no time. And the Braves not done quite yet. Lorenzen with one more piece to the puzzle here. I would say Rob Thompson is in a very similar position. He had to use some of his top relievers or in the leverage group to kind of get through some of those middle innings, but didn't have to go to his late game relievers, the sprinters, Alvarado and Kimbrel.
Yeah, and Hoffman still available down there. I wonder tomorrow if he tries to get more out of Suarez though than just 3 2/3.
He might, especially if you're up 2-1. You may give him a little extra leash. Yeah. We'll see. It's going to be a great scene here. You know that. Ranger Suarez, you know he's ready to go. Gets the ball tomorrow against Spencer Strider. Braves will be in survival mode, trying to get this series back to Atlanta for a Game 5, something they could not do last year. Phillies had the grips on in both the DS and the CS last year when they returned home. Acuna finally got his bat going tonight. 2 hits, a double, a single, a stolen base, scored a run. His first hit to the postseason. Strider, he's got the heavy burden tomorrow. Broken bat, Bohm gloves it, across the diamond, right there. Nice play. The Phillies win Game 3. Take a 2-1 series advantage in this best of 5. And they have the team who posted the best record in baseball on the brink of elimination for the 2nd consecutive season. 10-2 the final score as the Phillies bang out 6 homers. And now we're set up for a Game 4 tomorrow, and the Phillies a chance to advance to the League Championship Series.
Look, Aaron Nola is outstanding. 9 strikeouts to shut down this Braves offense, but you got to tip your hat to the Phillies offense tonight. BA 6 home runs put on a display. That man Castellanos with 2. Bryce Harper continues his torrid postseason pace with 2 himself, and it was a party tonight in Philadelphia.
Aaron Nola picks up another postseason win, his 2nd of this season. He's won both of his starts, 5 2/3 innings. Gave up just 6 hits. He set a personal record for strikeouts in a postseason with 9. And the Phillies shaking hands on the field at Citizens Bank Park. And the Braves back to the drawing board to prepare for a Game 4 tomorrow. Bryce Harper, a man for the moment. 3-run home run in the 3rd. And then a solo shot in the 5th. 5 hits now in the division series, and he's standing by with Matt Weiner.
Thank you, BA. There's a little chill in the air. Bryce Harper is punishing the Braves. It feels like October again. This place was ready to go nuts, and you guys delivered 6 home runs. How much fun was this?
Yeah, it was good. You know, I think, just trying to set the tone, at home, being able to play in front of this fan base, there's nothing like it. That's a really good team over there. Elder had a great year, so we just tried to put pressure on them early, and Nola went out there, did his job, and just a really good win.
You've now hit more home runs in this round of the postseason than any player ever. What does that mean to you?
I just want to win. I don't care. I just want to go out there and play my best baseball and win games. That's what it's all about. It's about every guy in here. 25 of us going out there and playing our game, plus 40,000 out here. So that's what it's all about.
You seem to stare a little longer around second base at Orlando Arcia. What were you trying to communicate?
Just the game. It's fun. It is. It's a lot of fun. We play a great game out here, and everybody works hard. Everybody, plays a really good game, and that's what it's all about.
You've seen Aaron Nola at his best. He was up and down this season. How good was he tonight?
In these games, our 1 and 2 were some of the best in baseball. With Wills and him going out there. No moment surprises me with those 2 guys. They go out there, they do their job each night, every 5th day. It's unbelievable. I mean, Nola went out there and did his job, and offense was great. Castellanos, Marsh. That's cold. But, you know, I thought our lineup really did a great job. And, you know, like I said, set the tone early and just kept going.
Congratulations. Dry off. We'll see you tomorrow.
Cool. Thank you.
It's a big game hunter right there. Bryce Harper, now 5 RBIs, all of his RBIs coming on the long ball, his second home run of this division series. And the Phillies a win away from a trip to the National League Championship Series. We'll do it all again tomorrow night, right here at Citizens Bank Park, right here on TBS. For Jeff Francoeur, Matt Weiner, the rest of our terrific crew, led in the truck by Jeff Randolph, the Sponge, and Matt Lim. Brian Anderson saying so long from Philadelphia. You've been watching MLB Postseason on TBS, exclusive home of the DS and the NLCS. Now let's send it to our Atlanta studios. Hall of Famer Ernie Johnson. Take it away, EJ.